First, I told you it'd be a day of breaking news, and guess what?
95.7 The Game breaking news.
Well, we've been talking for a long time about what the 49ers are going to do in the QB room this offseason to go alongside Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, and we have our answer. QB 3, or potentially 2, or potentially 1, will go by the name Sam Darnold. The San Francisco 49ers have reached an agreement on a 1-year deal with the former Panther quarterback.
Wow. Sam Darnold
Sam Darnold is coming to town, and there is your insurance policy.
I mean, wow. If you're Trey Lance and you look at this news, how does that make you feel? Because Sam Darnold has done more in this league, both positively and negatively, than Trey Lance has. So if you're Trey Lance, do you look at this as now competition for QB2? Competition for QB1 until Brock Purdy gets healthy?
Look,
how do you look at this if you are Trey Lance?
I think that if I'm Trey Lance, I feel pretty good about this. I really do. And that's because Sam Darnold, while he has more name value than a, Nate Sudfeld.
Right.
Sure, I'll give you that. Someone who's like a clear backup. Sam Darnold is not someone who's going to get any looks as a starter in this league. He has had multiple opportunities with the Jets and the Panthers to take that job, could not do it. Other names started getting thrown in, like Baker Mayfield and whatnot. And so Darnold, who is still intriguing in my mind if paired with, say, a Kyle Shanahan, he's not a big name. He's not a small name. But if I'm Trey Lance, look, this is pro sports. You got to be used to people clipping at your heels. The bottom line is, whether they get a big name behind him or not, Trey Lance is going to have to perform, or else somebody else is going to get a look. So I feel fine. I don't think it's the kind of name where it says that the 49er organization clearly doesn't believe in Trey, but it is the kind of name where the Niner organization just said, look, you're unproven, and both of you are hurt. So we have to have someone who's got a little bit of juice in this room, and we need it now because we've got an entire offseason at minimum without Brock. So I think it makes sense. This makes sense from a lot of different angles. I think the 49ers thread the needle in terms of someone that's got a little juice, but not someone who clearly states, we don't like Trey Lance.
Right, and not somebody who would threaten Brock Purdy when Brock Purdy gets healthy, and somebody against whom Trey Lance can certainly compete and feel like he's got a chance to get a leg up on Sam Darnold. Trey Lance has got a head start, having been in the system now for 2 years, so he comes into the offseason as QB1 until Brock Purdy is able to get healthy, and Sam Darnold has to play catch-up in terms of learning the system and figuring out how he can fit into this system. So if Sam Darnold is okay being a QB3, and I guess he looks at it in terms of, based on the way the 49ers quarterbacks have gone down in the past, Sam Darnold probably feels like he's got a chance to play at some point.
Well, this is what I was wondering, is not so much who the 49ers wanted, but what quarterback was going to jump into this situation and be excited about it. Like, who on earth has name value that on day one of free agency is going to be like, yeah, I totally want to be QB3 somewhere. Well, this one I get. Here's why Sam does this. Sam does this because his reputation as a potential starting quarterback in this league is gone. This guy is a backup. A high-level one maybe, but he's a backup. Okay, so you're like, well, why would you not choose somewhere where you could clearly be QB2? Instead, you choose somewhere where you might end up being QB3. 2 reasons. Number one, the San Francisco 49ers are going to become a 3-quarterback team. Wouldn't you? I don't know what rule. I don't know how the rules are going to change, but this is a team that's been scarred by this, and I think they're going to carry 3 QBs active on game day one way or the other. Second thing, if I'm Sam, what do I want? I want image rehab.
Exactly.
Who can give that to me? Kyle Shanahan.
Even if he doesn't play, he can still be seen as a guy. I like what Sam's doing. He's picking it up really well, and boy, he looks good in preseason.
Or if he does play. My sense is he'll play really well or better than he would as a Jet or a Panther.
Yeah, true.
I think we're still looking at a player who, in theory, has never really had it. And when I say it, He's never had a healthy organization. He's never had, he had Christian McCaffrey, but like the Jets, we know that story. And even with the Panthers, I mean, DJ Moore, like, did you really have what you needed around you? You certainly didn't have what the 49ers can offer you. So if this falls to him, and with 2 injured QBs, it might, at least for a short period of time.
Right.
If it falls to him, is this his best chance to show the league, look what I can look like if you put stuff around me? I think yes.
And he's still a former first-round pick, so there was a time when he was seen as a quarterback who could be a franchise quarterback for somebody. And yeah, the Jets didn't work out. Carolina didn't work out. Neither system was offensively geared toward a young quarterback. He didn't have the consistency at coordinator. And now you go to a place where you've got the QB whisperer and Kyle Shanahan. And I'm sure Sam Darnold comes in thinking, all right, between now and whenever Brock Purdy gets healthy, I have a chance to compete. And if he likes his chances to compete against Trey Lance, maybe he emerges come August as QB2 behind Brock when he gets healthy.
Well, he gets QB2 role for now. I mean, obviously, for OTAs, this is QB2, and we'll see what he can do with it. But listen, Kyle Shanahan is the QB whisperer. If you don't believe that, then don't listen to me. Don't listen to Dibs. The league just told you. And by the way, I don't know, again, how many of you are familiar with our show 9 to noon. We love your calls. So go ahead and line up on this. Not only your thoughts on Sam Darnold coming into the quarterback room for the 49ers, 888-957-9570. You can also text us on the Xfinity mobile text line. And we love hanging out with our YouTube and Twitch audience and commenting there. And so you can do that as well. Good afternoon. Thanks for being with us, Willard and Dibs. But I'd also say this. The league just told you who the quarterback whisperer is. And this is no shade at Andy Reid. He's phenomenal. He's a Hall of Famer. But the QB whisperer in the NFL is not Andy Reid. It's Kyle Shanahan. If Patrick Mahomes were on the open market, Patrick Mahomes would get a Shohei Ohtani deal. Any team would sign up to have Patrick Mahomes for any price. But Jimmy Garoppolo, 3 NFC title games in 4 years, he had a hand in all 3. 70% of the games he wins. You all know the stats. We've been over this 1,000 times. That guy hit the free agent market in a year when Daniel Jones got $40 million.
Yeah.
And Geno Smith got $35. And that man went for 22.
And a hook.
Which means the league is telling you, we don't really think you're as good as your numbers, which means the league is telling you Kyle Shanahan's the best coach in the NFL. Yeah,
he's telling you that Jimmy Garoppolo is a system quarterback, and that system is no longer a part of Jimmy Garoppolo's future. And so the market tells you, well, Jimmy Garoppolo, you were great in San Francisco when you had Kyle Shanahan, but we don't believe in you at that same level when you don't have Kyle Shanahan. Even going to a place where the head coach knows him well. The head coach was the offensive coordinator in New England when he was a rookie, and yet they still were able to get him for $22.5 million a year because that's what the market bore.